How's it going, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to another video. We are going to be doing another CSS battle challenge in this one, and more specifically, I want to try to build out this little cube. So number 19 looks pretty cool. So listen up, if you're new to this channel and you're new to CSS battles, be sure to stick around because you can learn a couple of cool things with CSS with building out these interesting pieces of art. So let's just go ahead and get started with this one. In this particular example, I am going to change the background color like this. So I'm going to style the background, the body tag with a background of that. And I'm going to try to make this first yellow square. So to do that, what we could probably do is just change the background color of it like that. Then you'll notice here that this square is positioned in probably in the X direction right in the center. So what I'm going to do again is just say display flex, justify content of center. And I'm not going to do align items on this one. What I'm going to do is just manually set the top. So let's say top is 100 pixels and position is relative. And I should bring it down some. Maybe 100 pixels might be better. 120, 130. All right, so now it's like centered exactly where it probably needs to be. It's probably a little bit small, but let's move on. So how do we actually rotate this thing? Well, there is a CSS property called transform. And we can say a rotate, and we can provide a degree. So I think 45 degrees would get us where we need to. And look at that. I think we are actually almost perfectly there. Ours is a little bit lower by a couple of pixels, I think. I can't tell if ours is higher or lower. Ours is... I don't know. Let's just try moving it down some. So I'm gonna move it down some and see if it makes it even worse. That made it worse, so I'm gonna go ahead and just move it back up to 128. All right, I think 127 is actually where it needs to be. So that looks pretty good. All right, so let's move on to this other square. Let's see if we can try to figure out how to do this. So I'm gonna copy this color, because we're gonna be needing it in a second. And I'm going to go ahead and just use a p tag of A for that first one. And for the second element, I'm gonna add another p tag here. And I'm gonna say p of B. And I'm going to give it a background of the one I copied. And I think we could probably copy all the other stuff except for the background color. I'm just going to give everything a position of absolute so it doesn't screw up my positioning. Oh, I already screwed up my positioning. Alright, I'll do this. I'll do P is position of absolute instead of the star. That didn't help us at all. Okay. I'm going to give both of these a left to 0 because I think that'll put them over in the same spot. What the heck? Okay, I'm not sure why these are like overlapping each other. Position relative, that's why. Oh, goodness, I screwed up my position, guys. To figure out where it was again. Move it back up some. 120. And I had that perfectly positioned. Okay, note the self. Always just do absolute positioning. Like, there's no point to doing relative. Now it's too far over. Alright, that looks better. Alright, so for P of B, which is this green one, we are going to try to do a skew and see if we can achieve it. So I'm going to say transform a skew. And I actually haven't really used skew before, so let's see. I don't even know what it takes. The skew X? Does it take pixels? I really don't know. I'm going to Google this, sorry y'all. So don't judge me. Transform skew CSS. I have never done skew, but I have read about it. So, oh, it's degrees. Okay, so let's try 20 degrees and 20 degrees. And instead of skew X, I'm just going to say skew and see what that looks like. Okay. So this is going to be new for me to figure out what I need. That looks like that'll fit pretty good there, but I think the width needs to be like lower or something. Maybe skew X needs to be nothing. Does that look okay, guys? Maybe it needs to be smaller as well. Let's move it over until we get something that looks good. So 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 135 maybe. And move it up some. $45 degrees. That looks pretty good. Move it up. 75. Increase the width. increase the height. Move it up some more, maybe? Oops, wrong way. 70, 60. Move it to the left some. This is so confusing. Move it down. I think that's almost there. I think it just needs to come over one, something. And then it needs to come down one. But now it's like, I mean, I guess that looks good. I don't think that's perfect, but we can come back to it. Let's try to add the other thing. So I'm gonna do a P of C. And we are gonna style that very similar to the one we just did. And we're gonna change the background color to this. But we are going to, all right, let's just try to move it over, and we might have to just skew it the other way. So a positive way or something. And then we could just move it over to the left even more. And I accidentally overwrote the other color. So let's change this to a C and keep on moving this over to the left until we get something we want. I think that's it, but it's off. You can tell it's off by a little bit. But I think you get the picture. I'm not going to sit here for another 10 minutes and try to make this perfect because I'm not a perfectionist. So let's see what we get. And we are probably going to miss a couple of points. Oh, we got 100% match, so that's awesome. So listen up, I have a bunch of other videos in this series of doing CSS battles. So be sure to check them out. I have little cards open for you all if you wanted to keep on learning more about my CSS battles. So thank you all so much for watching, and happy coding.